G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers and I hope you enjoy the content of my channel. You missed last week's video, the tool holders and sorting out and all the rest of it, the clean up that I did. Link up there now, go watch that first. Then come back and watch this one. Now I know I did promise at the end of the part 3 of the 90-degree drive that I was going to make a tool holder with a dial gauge in it for the lathe, but I forgot I'd made the tidy up video while I was waiting for the belts to arrive to finish that part 3 of the 90-degree drive. So that's what we're going to do this week. So follow me out of the lathe and I'll show you what I got in mind over there. Alrighty, so when I made the tool holders the other week, I ended this one, it was just a bit bigger, a bit wider than the rest of them, and I said I'd put it away for something, you know, special. I had no idea what that something special would be. I always wanted to make myself a tool post mounted dial gauge holder, and I think this thing would be perfect for that. So what I'm going to do is mill this out up the front here. I've got to make sure I leave room for, you know, the height adjuster here, and set it up in there. Now it's not thick enough this way obviously, so I'll just make a spacer to fit in there to bolt it on with. So we'll machine all that up and get that in there, because it's always been a bit of a hassle. I've always had to mount it over on the back of the tailstock here on a magnetic stand. Then it's straight up and down. You've got nowhere to manipulate your workpiece to try and straighten things up. So it'd be much better off if it's down in here somewhere. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll knock up a tool holder for this, so it'll mill that out down in there, and then I'll have to make sure it's packed far enough so I can get a bolt in here to bolt it on with, and we'll do all that. Alrighty, so I've produced a drawing in FreeCAD to show you what I intend to do. So this is it here. So as close as I can get it, I think. Hoping that'll work out okay. That's an M6 thread there to mount it with. Again, an M6 thread up there. Now I did move that back away from the centre a bit so that I could go in here a bit further and move the the dial gauge back a bit further into it. So hopefully that'll all work out okay, and I'll get on with doing that. Alrighty, so I decided that considering I have a 3D printer, the sensible thing to do would be to print one up and make sure I had everything in the right spot. Now initially I didn't. That's the first one I made, and came to the conclusion that this was too far back. I need to go forward a bit, so I moved it 5mm forward to where it was. You can see the difference in where are we? Let's get in 2 spots in the right place. There we are. That this hole in here is a bit further forward to what that one is, and I also moved the hole in the top closer and back this way a bit further, but for some reason printed in the first one, but it didn't print in the second one. I'll have to go and have a look and see why that is, why it didn't print it. I don't know why. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, and I didn't get this part of it right. I even closed it up 0.7 of a millimetre, because this one was just like cock at a sock. So was this one. I didn't measure, I just had to guess. I should have closed it up about 1.7mm, I think. I think, you know, in reality, if I was to print this as a solid or a semi-solid, say with about 75 or 80% infill, I reckon I'd just about use a plastic one. But anyway, that's not the aim of this video. The aim of this video is to make it out of steel. So now that I know I've pretty much got things where they need to be, and I don't have to cut this, so that's not important at the moment, but all the rest of it is right, so we can get on with machining up that bit of steel. Alrighty, so I hadn't dressed up the top and bottom on this when I made them, so I've done that while you weren't looking. I made up a drawing, and I've all of the measurements on this have come from this edge here and this edge here, or that edge, whichever one, same, that face. So that face and that face. Now, as luck would have it, the diameter of the dial gauge is 53.5mm. and I have a 54mm hole saw. Now I don't really know how well this is going to work. I did do it a while back on that centering tool I made for the lathe, but oh, look at the teeth on this, look terrible. And they kind of feel sharp, but the grinds on those teeth are all over the place. Some go back, some come out. Some look almost flat, and I'm not sure whether it's worn like that because I haven't used that this much, all that much this thing, or whether that's meant to make them, each tooth is cutting a different portion in there to make them less chattery or something, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to try and cut the circle in here down to 15mm with this. We'll see how we go. So we'll get this all centered up and we'll work out the edges, the 0 for these 2 edges. Get on with it. Alrighty, so the centre of that, and did I mention that cutter is 54mm, so this is 53.5, so that worked out pretty well. Don't remember why I bought that and why it's that particular size, but anyway. So the centre of that circle is 37.3mm from the back edge out this way and 12mm back that way. So what I might do is I'll go the 12mm that way, it'll come out 37.5 or 6, so that I can make a bit of a clean up pass down it and clean it up if I need to. Righto, that's 37.6 that way. Millimeters that way. I'll lock that in place. See how we go. I really don't know how this is going to go. I suspect badly. Anyway, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I'll touch this off and get a 0 for the Z. This is going to take forever, I think, so I'll bring you back if and when I succeed. Alrighty, change of plans. That's not going well at all. So I decided what I can do, now that I know where I've got to cut to, is just rough it out with a roughing cutter, and then basically just use that hole saw to clean up that back edge. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, I've got to say that was a much better idea. Don't know why I didn't think that. Well, I couldn't do that in the first place because I couldn't really see where I was working to. Now that I do know where I'm working to, I've only gone 14.8 there, I need to go 15, so I left myself 0.2 to clean that face up. We'll get this other thing back in there and finish cutting it down to there. Hopefully it'll work, it'll play nicely this time. Let's get a bit warm, that cutter. Chucking the cutter. Righto, now where do we have to be? 12mm this way and 7.3 this way. Rightio, lock that up. Touch off the Z. Well, that played much more nicely this time. So I'll just get a 12mm 4-flute end mill in there and just clean that bottom up and we'll be done. Alrighty, so I've got that touched off in there and we'll clean this up. Even got a nice finish in the back there, I'm kind of pleased with that. Even I tucked the bloody back up in there, but oh well, not real happy about that. That's shit up, isn't it? What wheels that fit in there? Can't tell because it's down in the bloody vice to the E-car, but no, pretty good. So, only thing left to do while we're in that position is to drill and tap the hole up in here. Alrighty, so that's that part of it done. So we've got a drill and tap hole on this side. Then we've got a little bit of lathe work to make a spacer and something to retain it with. Alrighty, bloody big storm rolling around here at the moment. It's black as hell out to the east. So hopefully the thunderclaps will shut up while I do this. Alrighty, so I don't want to drill and tap this hole in here straight off the bat, off my drawing. What I want to do is machine up a little round brass spacer to fit in here. And I've just measured that it's 12.6 millimeters, so I'll do that. That fits in there absolutely perfectly. It's just a magnificent fit in there. That worked out bloody perfect, that did. But anyway, so I need to, while I'm over at the lathe, I'll also machine up something as an adjuster for the height. And once I've got the spacer to put in here, I'll be able to try and hold this in place well somehow, and maybe put a transfer punch down through and just punch it so that I can check the punch mark versus what I've got on my drawing as to the right spot to put that drill hole, that thread in there. So we'll make that spacer up next, and then we'll get on with the rest of it. Alrighty, I don't have a bit of round to make this out of, so I'm just going to use a bit of this hex and I'll just turn it around. It's only a short off cut, it's not much use for too much else. Silly bloody me, I didn't set a 0 on the end, so I don't know how long it is now. That looks pretty good. A 6mm hole in it. So much quicker and easier to find a tool now without it all being scattered all through the bottom of the bin, the box and on the way there. What's this about? 1.4, I think, that the width of that. 1.4, 1.39, something like that. Idiot, I didn't machine that anywhere near far enough. Chip free. Beautiful. I love it. Alrighty, this is 12.6 millimeters. Oh, it's bloody 12.8. Anyway, that might be alright. I shall fit it up to the other one and see how we go. Alrighty, so I put that back in the lathe and sort it out some more because it's not 12.6, it's 10.6. And that bloody hole there, that is not 6mm. It's, I thought, well, maybe it's quarter. It's not quarter either, it's 6.7 or 6.8 millimeters. My transfer punch is all bloody imperial anyway. But so I'm just going to stick that in there, give it a bit of a love tap, just so I can compare what that's got to. I'll put it in the machine and zero everything out, and then see how well that lines up. So, and then once I've got that done, the drilled and tapped, and I can fix it on there, then I will do something about making up the adjuster for here. Once I see just exactly how much room I've got in here, how big a diameter I can make it. I think it'll be okay. Alrighty, so after refining these edges and zeroing them out, where that's sitting right now is where my drawing says it's supposed to be, and I've got to say it's almost right over that. So, and the fact that that hole is, you know, it's bigger than 6mm, I think I'm just going to take my drawing as gospel and drill it there. I already made a text note there before. I couldn't find this bit that goes on the end, but I found that. So that's better. Alright, I'll get that out of there, chamfer that hole, get something in to bolt it all together, figure out what I can do over this side. Alrighty, so that's all clamped up in there. where it's got to go. This hole probably could have done with being even further back down here, but I couldn't get too bloody far back. But I can only get something about a diameter of about 14 or maximum of 15 mil round, which means that hanging over into here, it'll only be hanging over in there about 2 to 2.5 mil, but that should be enough to actually adjust it up and down. It's not like it's, you know, critical that how it moves up and down. But anyway, we'll sort something out for this and see how we go. Alrighty, so we'll make up this adjuster knob for this. 18.6, I want to go down to 15, so let's set 3.6, so 1.8 millimeters. Crappy looking nail, but that'll do me. Alrighty, sorry about that. I just finished parting it off and I looked at the camera to say something. I realised it had turned itself off. There it is there. I had to put it back in anyway and reduce the diameter just by 0.5 mil. You can see it just barely clears it now, and that's all anyway. Because I'm shooting at the 15 originally, but 14.5 I'll have to do, but I think there's enough hanging over there for it to work and do what it's got to do. So now I'm going to machine something up to make a knob for here. I'll do that in brass too. Almost hit free, but it's a little funny looking, so I might just dress that up a bit anyway. I don't really like the chamfer I got on the back. I want to do something special with this one and put some scallops in it, or scallops as you Americans call it, and just make it look a little better. That got rid of it. Alrighty, to the mill. Alrighty, let's put some scallops in this thing. Alrighty, so that was 6mm ball nose end mill, 1.5mm deep cut. Came up pretty nice. Alright, well I'll dress that up and I'll see you back over the bench, see how it all comes together. At this point in the video, I'd like to thank my patrons. Their continued support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. If you don't want to be a regular contributor, there's always buy me a coffee. Now, let's get back to the build. Alrighty, if you've enjoyed watching me make this, how about doing me a favour and smashing that like button, giving it a great big thumbs up, because you know it kind of helps me out. My views have been a bit hit and miss lately. I don't really know why. I've gained a lot of subscribers, but you know, I don't have anywhere near the views that I have subscribers, which is a bit of a mystery to me. Anyway, now I had to make a small alteration to this because it suddenly occurred to me, will this go down low enough to get it on the centre? And it wouldn't. So I had to mill a bit out of the side here. Couldn't take all off the bottom because of this screw. You can see there it would have chopped that bloody thread in half. So this gives me the clearance I need to get it down low enough. So let's try this on here, see how we go. Look at that, like a bloody bought one. Beautiful. Alrighty, so I want to blue this thing up now, stop it rusting in here, like everything does. I love that brass work, don't you? I think it just sets things off, especially when this is black. That'll look great. So I'll get it all blued and or blacked, whichever way you want to look at it. And then I'll meet you back over the lathe and have a look how it all sits. I won't make you sit through the blue in this. Alrighty, so there we have it, all blued up. The amount of rain we've been having, I just had to wait for a storm to go so I can film this. Beautiful and functional. Eh? I did stuff these up, these new ones. When I pulled the tool post off, one of the wedges fell out and I put it back in the wrong place, so it is a bit out of whack. I know, that's a bit high, so I'll lower it down a bit. It's got it there. Oh, is it sitting down on there? Sit down on there, just. Only just catches on there, but that's all it's got to do. So there we go, beautiful. So you might get to see this in operation in my next project. I'll tell you what it is right now. I'll tell you when I go to make it. But there we go. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you really did enjoy that. So I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.